our state's crisis line. There's going to be a professional there you can connect with who will be happy to help you. Back to you.
Maya, thanks so much for that. Now, a big reason why this tragedy has rocked the nation is because of the impact that Charlie Kirk had on the political sphere.
Oh, he was massive, such a force as he's been described. Fox 13 News investigative reporter Taylor Stevens takes a closer look at the legacy Kirk is known for. Taylor joining us live in studio. Taylor, I do want to remind everyone we are monitoring that news conference, and once it begins, we will break away and go to it live and then get back to you.
Well, until that point, 31-year-old Charlie Kirk died doing exactly what caused him to rise to the public eye in the first place, rallying young people with an appeal to Christian conservatism. Kirk was the founder of youth organization Turning Point USA and would place attention on what the group called liberalism on college campuses. Kirk frequently went to college campuses to engage in debate with students who don't agree with him. He became a close ally of President Donald Trump and was also a voice for the pro-life movement.
Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth.
To have someone that is that powerful of a speaker, he's very smart, he connects with this next generation, and this next generation is the up-and-coming generation that will be trying to fight for the lives of the unborn. And so, we just love Charlie Kirk and everything that that he helps with in this pro-life cause.
Kirk leaves behind his wife and their 2 young daughters who are 3 and 1 years old. Not everyone agreed with Kirk. An anonymous person created a petition earlier this week to prevent Kirk from speaking at UVU yesterday, saying his platform was inconsistent with the school's ideals of inclusivity and diversity. That petition had almost 1,000 supporters before it closed yesterday after the shooting.
Taylor, thank you. Now, he had a lot of fans of all ages, young and old, and we saw many of them gather last night to honor him and pay their respects. This was just one of the vigils last night. This took place at the state capitol, where hundreds gathered at the Capitol Rotunda, led in prayer and speech by Utah State representatives, both past and present. Attendees called it a reverent and patriotic moment to honor Charlie Kirk. Representatives Carrie-Ann Lisenby and Tiara Oxir say the messages of conservatism and Christianity that he spread inspired them.
He knew the hostility he would face. He knew the names he would be called. But he showed up anyway because he loved America and believed it was still worth fighting for.
We will all turn our hearts to God and ask Him to save our nation and our republic.
And the support did not stop there. Turning Point USA campus chapters at colleges across the country organized vigils last night for the organization's founder.
Reaction is pouring in from federal lawmakers. Utah Senator Mike Lee did post on X saying, quote, Charlie Kirk was an American patriot, an inspiration to countless young people to stand up and defend the timeless truths that make our country great. This murder was a cowardly act of violence, an attack on champions of freedom like Charlie, the students who gathered for civil debate, and also Americans who peacefully strive to save our nation.
And Utah Senator John Curtis spoke with a CNN reporter moments after the initial shooting. Have a listen.
This is my backyard. This is very, very personal because of that, and leaves a scar. I think it's time for all of us to reevaluate how we're talking about issues. I think that if we're honest, we're having conversations within families that are too heated. We're having conversations among friends that are too heated, and then that obviously escalates as it gets to a broader conversation. It's not healthy. It's not who we are.
Meanwhile, the president has ordered all American flags to be flown at half-staff in Kirk's honor until Sunday evening at 6 p.m.
We are on top of all major developments surrounding the assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday on the campus of Utah Valley University. It is 9 minutes after 7 right now. We were told initially that a news conference was starting at 7 a.m. this morning. We are standing by. We have a crew there live. We will bring you that news conference as soon as it begins. We're expecting to hear from members of the FBI as well as Utah Public Safety, Department of Public Safety. So many questions still remain this morning as an urgent manhunt is underway for the suspected shooter, the shooter of Charlie Kirk. So don't go anywhere. You will get that in its entirety. Also, we have learned Vice President J.D. Vance on his way to Utah. So much more to come this morning on Good Day Utah.
We want to shift gears now to get you out the door and ready for your day. The winds have changed blowing through Utah. Here's some video caught by John Bartlett of the wind gusts on the cliff ridge on Blue Mountain just east of Vernal. And those winds were very powerful yesterday. There's also some clouds in the sky, bit of an overcast day at times, but it all passed through now. This morning has been pretty nice so far. So Damon, the question is today on this 9/11 here in the year 2025, what are we looking like today? Warm, summer-like weather?
Winds will pick up again later today, but this morning we're off to a quiet start and a beautiful one. This is a live look from the Natural History Museum camera out across Salt Lake Valley. A few stray clouds made for beautiful sunrise. It's a little cooler this morning. Some of you might need a little bit of a sweatshirt or jacket when you head out, especially in Logan where it's in the mid-50s, although Salt Lake and St. George mid-60s. It's 59 currently in Price. And we even had a few showers lingering in the far north earlier this morning. Most of those have lifted north or tapered off, even though some of the strongest storms were along the spine of the mountains and off to the east overnight. But again, this morning things have quieted down with a little bit of a breeze going out of the south. But by this afternoon, the winds could get gusty, this time in southern and eastern Utah. We might get some blowing dust. Strong winds possible with some strong thunderstorms over the higher terrain of the east that might potentially bring a little bit of rain. And then the next few days, it gradually gets cooler as the storm system responsible for all of this starts to make its way in. We'll let you know how much those temperatures will drop coming up in the full forecast in just a couple minutes.
All right, Damon, thanks so much. Yeah, it's been calm out there on the weather front, but unfortunately not so much on the crash front anymore. We do have crashes. It just goes to show they're not always weather related, so always be on your toes for that. A couple crashes not far from each other. Eastbound I-80 through Parley's Canyon. We do have a school bus pulled over to the right-hand shoulder. We are working to get more information on this for you. Not sure if it is a crash or a maintenance issue. Hopefully nobody is hurt and everything's okay. It is causing a little bit of a delay. People passing by on the left-hand side. No lane closures eastbound I-80. And then we've got another crash westbound I-80 coming out from the Salt Lake Valley near North Temple. Vehicle pulled over to the left-hand shoulder. Tow truck arrived on scene. So hopefully we can get that cleared. It is causing people just to slow down ever so slightly. But looking at the bigger picture this morning, for whatever reason, I-80 having a rough go down on the valley. And then once you get up through Parley's Canyon as well, you're starting to see a little bit of a delay for our eastbound travelers. Still a whole lot of green on that flow map, so we've got pockets of slowing throughout parts of the Salt Lake Valley, but all things considered, speed check, we are going 71 miles per hour in the South Salt Lake area. Davis County commuters, it's been a really nice start. You've kind of been on a really good streak. I don't want to jinx it, but no crashes right now, so we've got a whole lot of green and freeway speed. Surface streets looking really nice as well. So drive times across the board, Utah County commuters in for more of the same. I should give you guys some props as well. You've been doing really well on the crash front. So a half hour from Provo to 90th, Clearfield to the Salt Lake Valley, 5 extra minutes than you're used to, but you can still get there in a half hour. And elsewhere locally here in the Salt Lake Valley, under 20 minutes to get from Draper to Salt Lake City. Around 15 will get you from Midvale to Lehigh, and under 20 is all it needs from Salt Lake down to Layton, or up to Layton, I should say, guys.
Katya, thank you. We are waiting right now for that press conference to begin on the campus of Utah Valley University. We are expecting to hear from members of the FBI as well as the Utah Department of Public Safety in regards to the assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday on campus.
They were given a 5-minute warning for that to start about 3 or 4 minutes ago, so that really should start within the next minute or two. We also expect Vice President J.D. Vance and his plane to land at Salt Lake City International Airport today. I believe the press conference is starting right now, so we're going to bring that to you live right now.
I'd be remiss if we didn't start off today and recognize the significance of the day. Historically, on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group to recognize and honor those that sacrificed to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead, we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country. Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., political influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they faced scrutiny, they faced threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock. All day yesterday, through the night last night, investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles in charge.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the Salt Lake Field Office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him. We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley Shooting. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. We truly rely on the public's help in these types of cases, and no tip is too small or insignificant. Thank you.
Absolutely. So what I'll release about the suspect is suspect blended in well with a college institution. We're not releasing many details right now, and we will soon, but right now we're not. But that individual appears to be of college age. We are confident in our abilities to track that individual. If we're unsuccessful in identifying them immediately, we will reach out for the public's help and the media's help in pushing those photos. That was a new development overnight, working through the night, studying those cameras. So that's something that's new and that we're working through right now. As far as the security, I cannot speak to that. Neither the Department of Public Safety nor the Federal Bureau of Investigation was involved in the planning or security of this event, and that'll have to be a question later for other agencies.
Is that suspect possibly still in this area?
So that's a good question, and it's a question that goes to the safety of the community, right? No, not in those woods. We've walked through those woods and secured it. As to the community, I can tell you that this was a targeted event. We don't believe that the community is at risk. However, we are exhausting every resource to find him, and we will do so.
Can you see clearly the suspect's face? You say he's college aged. Do you believe he was from this university? And how far do you think he may have gone in this time span?
So I can't comment specifically on his face or any details such as that, as it's continuing to be a part of the investigation, and again, we'll release that shortly. However, we're doing everything we can to find him, and we're not sure how far he has gone yet, but we will do our best. We have images of the suspect.
So between those images and the none that you've been able to recover, do you believe you know who this person is, the person that you're looking for at this point?
Again, as part of the investigation, we're not releasing any details such as that right now.
Any fingerprints or DNA?
We are exhausting all of our resources to be able to collect those, but that's, again, part of the investigation.
And
How did the suspect get on the roof?
Excuse me?
You said you found the weapon. Have you been able to trace back the owner of that weapon or who purchased it?
We are working on that, but again, part of the investigation that I can't release.
Agent Bowles, there's been a lot of turnover at the FBI. Do you think that's impacting the investigation at all?
Not at all. We've got complete and total support from everyone, from the director on down, and it's been an incredible supportive environment so far.
Are tweets like the one yesterday useful though, where we announced that the suspect in custody?
All I can say is that we're working the investigation the best we have with the environment we're given. So thank you.
Just clarifying, you said he, so you believe it is him? Okay, great.
You were just watching a news conference on the campus of Utah Valley University. We heard from Commissioner of Public Safety Bo Mason, also Special Agent Robert Bowles, and a lot of brand new information came out in that press conference. Let's break it down for everyone, John.
So first, we learned the gender. This is a man. They've referred to him as he over and over again, of college age. They said they have images of this person on camera, but they're working with their technologies to identify the person. They're not going to release those yet to the public unless that technology can't perform an actual ID. We also were in Kelly the chilling moments of when the person arrived on campus at 11:52, and then less than 30 minutes later the shooting happened and they left the campus and went into a wooded area there in Utah County.
I want to hit on that again. It's interesting. So police say they confirmed that the suspect arrived on or near campus at 11:52 yesterday morning. They went through a stairwell, climbed onto the roof. Then they said after the shooting, the suspect jumped off the building and then fled into a nearby neighborhood, which seems to be a wooded area, adding that overnight the weapon has been found in a wooded area near the campus. Just looking at my notes here, they say they do have footprints and some other things they are currently analyzing as well.
Yeah, footprint, a palm print, and also a forearm print. They're analyzing the gun to see if they can trace it back to an owner. So they are working on that. They said they're working around the clock to get those clues. But again, not much information in terms of the identity of the shooter. Again, they said they have the person's face on video, but they are working with their technologies to try to put that face to a person.
And to that point, although they did say they have very good images they would not release if they actually know who this suspect is, they also would not confirm if they've traced that weapon back to a registered owner. So they said, you know, obviously the public needs to be patient with the investigation. We are continuing to follow the assassination of Charlie Kirk here on Good Day Utah. So much more to come this morning. Stay with us.